Dear John, it's been 3 weeks and there hasn't been a decent box office battle. I feel like Hollywood has let me down. How am I supposed to function as a guiding light, the decisive voice to what the public should watch, when options aren't really there? How am I supposed to be the wise sage that provides the answers to the age-old question, what should I watch this weekend, when the question itself seems to be so simple? Regardless, I have a duty to perform. It may not be pretty, but the public needs to know. They need to know what you should watch. Sincerely, Michael J. Migliore, your man on film.
Kick off the covers, I'm waiting. Every word you say, I think.
Hi, I'm usually Michael J. Migliore, but today I look and feel like Alan from The Hangover. This is still Man on Film for February 5th, 2010. Happy belated Groundhog's Day. Such an underappreciated movie and a great holiday. Film about repeating the same actions over and over again and repeating the same day over and over again. That's kind of how I feel about this next movie. Dear John, which just might as well have been called Oh My Dear God Help Me, stars former male stripper Channing Tatum and homely little white girl Amanda Seyfried, and is based off of a romance novel by the same name. This film was made for a demographic of which I have no part of, so therefore whatever charm this film may have had is completely lost on me. In any case, this film is about a girl who in a brief amount of time falls in love with a soldier on leave, and after he becomes active again, they continue their stressed relationship through a series of heartfelt love letters. That's right, it took me one cue card to sum that up. An hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes that is, of film summed up in a 3.5 cue card. Of course, any fan of this type of genre of film would argue that the real meat of the film is in the illusion of romance. Well, I just as well settle for the real thing. From Paris with Love. That's a romance if I say so myself. Starring a badass John Travolta and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and bearing absolutely no resemblance to the James Bond classic From Russia with Love. This film, directed by Taken director Pierre Morel and adapted from a story by Luc Besson, the iconic French action director. For your information, Luc Besson did La Femme Nikita and Léon the Professional. Just the combination of those two alone is enough to sell me on the film, but the film itself looks like it'll be a fair bit amount of action to it. The plot doesn't seem very important, but here's a summary anyway. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is recruited to drive John Travolta around Paris while he kicks everybody's ass to stop a terror plot. So some nice action brought to you by Luc Besson and Pierre Morel. And while we're talking about Luc Besson, Pierre Morel, opening in limited release this weekend is a film called Banlieue 13. I believe the original name was District Banlieue 13 or District 13, but for the US release I'm fairly certain they changed it so as to have no confusion with the now Oscar nominated District 9. The French film Banlieue 13 Ultimatum is actually a sequel to Banlieue 13 that was actually directed by From Paris with Love and Taken director Pierre Morel. It was also adapted by a story from Luc Besson, and what it's about is about a district in Paris's future that is controlled by 5 gangs, 5 warring gangs, and the powers that be try to take extreme measures to pretty much annihilate the whole district. When our heroes arrive to find a less destructive but just as action-packed way to resolve the conflict between the gangs, using parkour, the art of free running. And another small indie flick in limited release this weekend, but actually creating a lot of buzz on the festival circuit, is a small horror flick called Frozen. This horror film reminds me a lot of a film that came out a couple years ago called Open Water, where a couple is stranded in the middle of the ocean for the whole film. Now this film is about 3 skiers stranded at the top of a ski lift for a week. Everyone I ever spoke to about Open Water thought the film was horrible, but apparently this film is getting a lot more positive buzz. So, it might be something worthwhile. So that's the 411 for this weekend. If you go out to see any movie this weekend, I do recommend going to see From Paris with Love. But also keep an eye out for those 2 indie films. So if you happen to be in one of the cities where these 2 are released, go check them out. Sincerely,